The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle to be yourself in a world that tries to make you someone else. This timeless truth has shaped the lives of countless successful people. Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." Yet so many people spend their entire lives pretending to be someone they're not. They hide their true selves, suppress their uniqueness, and try desperately to fit in. Why? Because they believe being different is being wrong. Today's story will teach you a powerful lesson about accepting who you are and discovering that your uniqueness is actually your greatest strength. Stay with us till the end. This story might just change your life. Once in a small mountain village, there lived a young man named Thomas. He was 29 years old and worked as a carpenter in his father's workshop. Thomas was skilled with his hands and could create beautiful furniture from wood. But Thomas had something that made him different from everyone else in the village. He was left-handed. In that village, being left-handed was considered strange and unlucky. People believed that the right hand was the proper hand, and anyone who used their left hand was going against nature. From childhood, Thomas had been told to use his right hand for everything. His teachers had tied his left hand behind his back to force him to write with his right hand. His parents had scolded him whenever they caught him using his left hand. The village elders had called him peculiar and odd. So Thomas spent his entire life trying to be like everyone else. He forced himself to use his right hand even though it felt unnatural and uncomfortable. When he carved wood, he used his right hand and his work was average. When he wrote letters, he used his right hand and his handwriting was messy. When he ate meals, he used his right hand and often dropped his spoon. Everything felt difficult and awkward. But he kept trying because he wanted to fit in. He wanted to be normal. He wanted to be accepted. But deep inside, Thomas felt miserable. He felt like he was living a lie. He felt like he was fighting against himself every single day. His work as a carpenter was good, but never excellent. He could create furniture, but nothing extraordinary. He felt stuck, frustrated, and incomplete. One day, a renowned master craftsman named Mr. Chen arrived in the village. Mr. Chen was famous throughout the country for creating the most beautiful and intricate wooden sculptures. Kings and wealthy merchants would pay fortunes for his work. He was traveling through the region looking for talented carpenters to train. The village council invited Mr. Chen to their workshop to meet the local craftsmen. Thomas was there along with a dozen other carpenters. Mr. Chen walked around observing everyone as they worked. He watched them carve, saw, and polish wood. Thomas worked nervously, using his right hand as always, trying his best to impress the master. After watching for an hour, Mr. Chen called everyone together. "I have been observing all of you," he said. "You all have basic skills, but I am looking for something more. I am looking for someone with true potential. Someone who can create not just furniture, but art." He looked directly at Thomas. "You," he said. "What is your name?" "Thomas, sir," he replied nervously. "Thomas, I have been watching you very carefully. You are skilled, but something is wrong. You work with hesitation. Your movements are awkward. Your cuts are uncertain. Tell me, why do you fight with your tools?" Thomas looked down at his feet, embarrassed. I don't know what you mean, sir." Mr. Chen stepped closer. "I have trained hundreds of craftsmen in my life. I can see when someone is working naturally and when someone is working against their nature. You, young man, are working against yourself." The other carpenters began to whisper among themselves. Thomas felt his face turn red with shame. Mr. Chen continued, "Let me ask you something. Are you left-handed?" The workshop went silent. Everyone stared at Thomas. He felt exposed, caught in his secret. Slowly, he nodded.
Yes, sir, but I have learned to use my right hand because the village told you that being left-handed was wrong? Mr. Chen interrupted. Thomas nodded again, unable to speak. Mr. Chen shook his head slowly. What foolishness! What complete and utter foolishness! He turned to address everyone in the workshop. Do you know that some of the greatest artists, craftsmen, and inventors in history were left-handed? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Albert Einstein? Were they going against nature? No, they were following their nature. He turned back to Thomas. Young man, I want you to do something for me. I want you to carve a simple wooden spoon, but this time, use your left hand. Use the hand that feels natural to you. Thomas hesitated. He looked around at the other villagers. They were watching him with judgment and disapproval. He looked at Mr. Chen, who was waiting patiently. Go ahead, Mr. Chen encouraged. Don't be afraid. Thomas took a deep breath. Slowly, he picked up the carving knife with his left hand. The moment he gripped it, something felt different. It felt right. It felt like coming home after a long journey. His left hand knew exactly what to do. He began to carve, and something magical happened. His movements were smooth, precise, and confident. His hands moved with a grace and skill he had never experienced before. Within minutes, he had carved a beautiful spoon with intricate patterns along the handle. It was the best work he had ever done.
When he finished, he looked up at Mr. Chen. The master craftsman was smiling broadly. Now that is true craftsmanship. That is the work of someone working with their nature, not against it. Mr. Chen picked up the spoon and showed it to everyone. Look at this. This is what happens when a person accepts who they truly are. This young man has been crippling himself for years, forcing himself to be something he's not. And today, for the first time, he has allowed himself to be who he truly is. He turned to Thomas. I want to offer you an apprenticeship. Come with me and I will teach you everything I know, but only if you promise me one thing, that you will never again pretend to be someone you're not, that you will accept who you are and use it as your strength, not hide it as your weakness. Thomas felt tears forming in his eyes. For the first time in his life, someone was telling him that being different was not wrong, that being himself was not a flaw, that his uniqueness was actually his strength. Yes, sir, Thomas said with emotion in his voice. I promise. The other villagers murmured in disapproval, but Mr. Chen raised his hand to silence them. Let me tell you all something important. Nature does not make mistakes. When someone is born different, it is not a curse, it is a gift. But that gift can only be unwrapped when the person accepts it. He looked around at everyone. How many talented people has this village suppressed? How many unique individuals have you forced to be ordinary? How much potential have you destroyed because you demanded everyone be the same? The villagers stood in uncomfortable silence. They had never thought about it this way before. Mr. Chen placed his hand on Thomas's shoulder. Young man, you have spent 29 years trying to be like everyone else. You have fought against yourself, suppressed your natural abilities, and made yourself small to fit into their expectations. Today, that ends. Today, you begin the journey of becoming who you were always meant to be. Thomas left the village that day with Mr. Chen. For the next 3 years, he trained under the master craftsman. And because he was finally using his natural abilities, because he had finally accepted who he was, his skills flourished. He created wooden sculptures so beautiful that people traveled from distant lands just to see them. His left hand, which he had been told was wrong his entire life, became his greatest asset. 5 years later, Thomas returned to his village. But he returned not as the awkward carpenter who tried to fit in, but as a master craftsman with his own reputation. He opened a workshop and began teaching young people. And he made one rule in his workshop. Everyone was encouraged to work in the way that felt most natural to them. Left-handed, right-handed, it didn't matter. What mattered was that each person accepted who they were. One day, a young boy came to his workshop. The boy was left-handed, and his parents had been trying to force him to use his right hand. The boy looked sad and defeated. Thomas knelt down to the boy's level and said, "I want to tell you something important. You are not broken. You are not wrong. You are unique, and your uniqueness is not a weakness. It is your superpower. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." He handed the boy a carving knife. Use the hand that feels right to you, and watch what happens. The boy took the knife with his left hand and began to carve. A smile spread across his face as he realized how natural it felt. Thomas smiled too, remembering the day Mr. Chen had given him the same permission to be himself. The truth Thomas learned that day stayed with him forever. You will never be truly successful trying to be someone else. You will never reach your full potential while hiding who you really are. Your uniqueness is not something to fix or hide. It is something to embrace and celebrate. Because when you finally accept who you are, that's when you become unstoppable. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be like everyone else. Accept your differences. Embrace your uniqueness. Because the world doesn't need another copy. The world needs the original you. If you like this story, give it a thumbs up. Comment below about what makes you unique and how you will embrace it. Share the story with someone who needs to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next story. Until then, be yourself, because everyone else is already taken.